Hello and welcome. My name is Christina from Empowered Creator. I am a mindset and conscious manifesting teacher and coach, and this is my YouTube channel. Here I talk about all things law of assumption, mindset, conscious manifesting, the quantum universe, and a lot more. And my goal is to simplify everything without the fluff. So if you guys like this content and you would like to see more of it, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel, comment on this video, like it, share it, and stick around. Also, if you need help with your specific situation, I offer one-on-one coaching as well as custom subliminals for whatever needs you may have. I also have some self-study courses about manifesting your specific person. And I do have a members-only channel with a lot of perks for members, including weekly live workshops with a different manifesting topic each week, weekly live group coaching, a lot of exclusive content, monthly challenges for a chance to win a free one-on-one coaching session with me, and a lot more. So if you're interested in any of these services, the links are below in the description box. Click on them and they're going to take you to my website or to my membership channel. With all that being said, let's dive into today's video. In today's video, I'm so excited to bring to you an amazing success story from a coaching client, and that is how her SP came back to her after he had rejected her, after he had told her that he was not attracted to her, after they had been in no contact for an entire year, and after he had been dating a third party for the majority of that year that they were in no contact. So we're going to go into how she did it, what states more specifically, and what inner energies she got into to be able to manifest this turnaround in her love life and in her SP's feelings for her. And I intend that this story serves as a beautiful motivation and inspiration to all those of you who are on the journey of manifesting your specific person. So this is what I'll be discussing in today's video. Stay tuned. So as I said in my intro, this is a very, very exciting success story. And I wanted to make this story into a video because of the seemingly multiple and seemingly impossible circumstances that, of course, were anything but impossible in the end. So when this client and I started working together, that was probably several months ago at this point. She got 2 coaching packages with me and we worked together over the course of maybe 3 or 4 months. And so the very first time we started working together, she came with her story that was full of circumstances, full of blocks, full of things that she would see as being obstacles to her manifestation of her SP. What the old story was, in a nutshell, was that she and her SP had been a couple for some time, a few months or so, and things seemed to be going well at first. But then she was hit by a lot of insecurities, a lot of self-doubt, including a lot of doubt about how she looked because she had gained a little bit of weight, doubts on whether she was attractive to her SP, whether her SP was still attracted to her, and as you might have guessed, her SP unfortunately reflected that to her. So at some point, through all of this self-doubt of her SP's feelings for her SP's attraction towards her SP's intentions about the relationship, and so on, those of you who have spiraled in a relationship and have seen it go south, unfortunately, probably know what I'm talking about. Eventually, things broke down with her SP, and one day he told her that he doesn't think this is working out between them, doesn't think she's the one for him, he's not even attracted to her, and you bet that hurt. And so her SP ended their relationship at that point, and they went into no contact. Now, they did happen to have some mutual friends, so she would hear things about him here and there from those mutual friends. And at some point, not so long after they broke up, probably a couple of months later, she heard by one of their mutual friends that her SP had gotten himself into a relationship with a new person. And not only that, but she was also hearing that he seemed very happy, he seemed to be very much in love with a new person. And there was no indication whatsoever in the 3D that he was still thinking about her, that he still wanted her, that he still loved her, that he was even thinking about going back to her now that he was in a new, seemingly happy and loving relationship. And so as you can see, looking at it externally, the circumstances seemed quite impossible. There was a rejection, there was a statement on his part about lack of attraction, there was a breakup, there was no contact, and on top of everything else, there was now a third party as well. So as you can imagine, when this person and I started working together, all of these were blocks that needed to be cleared. All of this needed to be discussed and tackled. And she needed to get herself into a much better state, a state that was much more aligned to the state that she would have if she had her SP right now, if she had any hope of manifesting him back. And so this is exactly what we worked on through coaching. We also worked a lot on self-concept. We worked a lot on her feeling of feeling attractive within herself. We worked a lot on confidence. And so over some time, I started noticing when she was coming to our coaching sessions that her whole demeanor, her whole way of carrying herself was changing for the better. I started seeing someone who was much more confident in herself, someone who was starting to believe that, yeah, it's actually possible to attract back that SP, someone who has started to prioritize herself and see herself for all the worth and the value that she held inherently. And also something that made me as a coach very, very happy was that she started pursuing a lot of other interests and a lot of other things in her life that were also priorities in her life. And so she started losing that desperation for the SP. And when I see people losing the desperation for their SP, that tells me that their manifestation is usually not too far away. So as I said, my client worked a lot on her self-concept and her whole sense of self-worth, her whole sense of value. She started also prioritizing other things in her life. She started believing in herself. She started looking at herself from a different perspective. And she started, for the first time perhaps, feeling deserving of her SP. That automatically took him down from the pedestal that he was on up until then. Of course, she also manifested her SP directly as well. So she was doing some inner conversations as far as I know. She was doing some affirmations. She was visualizing here and there. And so all of that in combination helped her feel more and more confident in the prospect of having her SP back. She even stopped caring about the existence of the third party. All she could see was her SP and her in a relationship, knowing that this was going to happen, but also very, very important, not stressing out about when it was going to happen, how it was going to happen, or even at the end of the day, it happening at all, because she felt so strong within herself, so self-assured, that from a certain point on, she didn't even care so much whether her manifestation even came or not. And so, as you can see, that was a complete transformation in energies and inner states, which, of course, brought a transformation in the entire 3D circumstances. The first thing that happened was that her SP broke up with the third party because he realized that after all, they were not compatible. And my client heard that through a mutual friend. Now, this didn't seemingly have much to do with her. She was still in no contact. She still had no movement and no indication in the 3D of him coming back, wanting to come back, even thinking about her. But because her energy was so high, so aligned with having her desire, none of that actually mattered to her. She just kept going and she kept living her life without worrying. So not too long after she found out that her SP had now broken up with the third party, probably just a few weeks later, a beautiful bridge of events manifested to finally bring her her desire. What happened was that one of their mutual friends just happened to mention her to her SP in one of their conversations. And that ended up being the prompt in the 3D that started bringing them back together. Because according to their mutual friend, her SP showed great interest as soon as her name was mentioned. He started asking the mutual friend how she was doing, what she was up to, if she was single. He even confessed to the mutual friend that he had been thinking about her quite intensely lately, and that he had been missing her, and that he had started to second guess his decision from the previous year to break it off with her. And so what happened was that the mutual friend encouraged him to reach out to her. And so this is, you guys, how things unfolded. He did reach out to her one day. They started talking again. They started communicating again. Soon enough, they were out on a date. And things have unfolded beautifully from there. They are now back together. They are in a relationship. They are dating again. And all of this thanks to the change and the shift in her general energy, in her self-concept, in her perception of herself, and the perception of the entire situation. This is, you guys, how desires manifest. Whether that is an SP desire or any other desire, this is the way. You align your energy with a desire, and the desire comes to you. So I'm hoping that this story has served as an inspiration and a motivation to all those of you who are manifesting your SP and might be wavering, might be wondering, might not know where to go next, might be feeling stuck, might even be tempted to give up. All you need to do is align your energy and sustain that new aligned energy to the best of your ability. Everything else will unfold. Everything else will take care of itself, I promise you. With all that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I intend that this has helped. As always, I very much appreciate you guys being on this channel, watching this content. I love making this content for you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all at the next video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.